What's up, everybody? This is Matt Hines with you, and I have a question for you guys. Um, are you doing a workout? Are you following a workout routine right now? And if so, could you share it with me? Could you share it with us? I'd just be interested to know what you're doing and if you're following something online, or does your CrossFit coach post the workouts and And so, what are these, and are you following a plan? I'd really be interested to know what people are doing. And I actually wanted to go back. I asked for I did a survey like right around the new year, and I asked people what were their personal fitness goals for the year, what resources will they use, and what are the biggest barriers that they'll face. And this was really cool. I got like 90 response. I got 89 responses from this. And I was so, oh man, it was so awesome to see how much just getting people to hit me back on this and to hear some like really genuine responses from people. It was really insightful for me as a coach to see what people are thinking about and looking at the words that they're using to describe or try to explain what their goals are. So I just want to go through a couple of these really quick and talk a little bit more about what people were talking about. And I still haven't fully synthesized this. I want to try to really get some qualitative data from this, and I'm still going through the process of this. But it's been 7 months, so I just wanted to touch base on this. And so it broke down like this. So people talked about their goals, and there were general types of goals. There were frequency goals, there were specific performance goals, there were general performance goals, there were body composition goals, there were preventative or rehabilitative goals, there were intake goals, there were mindset or lifestyle goals, and also some professional goals were thrown in there. And so, and then also with a lot of males under the age of 40, that was probably the biggest demographic. But it was exactly 50-50 male female too, which that was really cool. And what are the biggest groups? 22% males, 30 to 39. I mean, those are my buddies that mostly got back to me on that, and people around that age. And also, it's pretty clear that the people that replied to this is definitely a demographic that is more fit than average. Most of you guys that replied, you've already done you've been training for a long time, and you've studied a lot. So this was definitely skewed towards a more experienced exerciser. But let's also go down. Let me see if I did. Okay, let me actually just read through a couple of just seeing how people talked about what their goals are. Let's read through first a few of the male 20 to 29 and younger males. These are people who are looking to work out at least 3 days a week, or maybe even 5 days a week. These are people who have performance goals. Lifting 500. A lot of people were powerlifting, bench 315. These are powerlifting total of 1,000 plus. Judo goal, kickboxing goals, and they're also thinking about a lot about general performance. They want to be strong. They want to improve their cardio. They want to have mobility and speed and improve their gymnastics. They also have body composition goals. Some of them want to lose some weight, lose some body fat. Some of them just want to get shredded. They want to get jacked. They want to build muscle mass, be big and shredded. Now, as we get a little bit older, and let me actually go to females, younger females. What are they talking about? It's not as much response in terms of goals. some weight loss, build back muscle, lift a bit heavier. So there are some lifestyle goals. The females 30 to 39 were a little more vocal on this, talking about yoga, setting 3 to 6 days a week of working out as a goal, general performance, get fit again, get healthier, circus arts, dance class, stamina and endurance. And then there's a lot of body composition, a lot of young mothers or mothers to be that replied, and they're looking to, just stay fit through pregnancy and then post pregnancy, do all the right things. So, preventative and rehabilitative, they're concerned about this, and also a bit to do with lifestyle, involving the kids into a healthy, active lifestyle. So this is really cool. And then going a little bit later, well, just a general trend. Okay, so females 50 to 59 continue to attend kickboxing, swimming, regular fitness schedule, bone density, triathlon, a lot of runners here. 1,000 miles per year. Wow. First ultra marathon 50K. So, there's still we have ambitious people here, and strength goals they have. And folks, as they age, their goals are a little bit more tending to focus on preventative and rehabilitative goals. So, and now I'll go down to resources. What kind of resources do people have? And a lot of the people that responded were coming from Ship City Fitness. They were coming from the Bath area. Also, a lot of my friends from CrossFit Newton, Massachusetts, and a lot of my friends from back home in California around Petaluma. And so CrossFit Newton, CrossFit Southie, Fit Factory. I'll go through some of the other facilities I'm seeing. Yoga Hell, Orange Theory in Petaluma, Planet Fitness in Petaluma, Rancho Cotati High School Gym. A lot of people had garage gyms, had some weights in their house, or other kinds of equipment. CrossFit Sav Up. CrossFit DC, Rochester Fitness. So, and then looking at, this is something that I'm really interested in. I know most people don't want to have to think about this too much, but it's the exercise planning. And that was my question I asked. Do you have a plan that you're following right now? And if you do, please share. And so what do I see people talking about as far as their programming? Some people have programming at their gym, CrossFit Newton, following Gil's programming. Active Life programming, Active Life RX. This is something you should check out. Active Life RX for especially rehabilitation or prehabilitation for CrossFit athletes. It's involving a lot more stabilization movements. CrossFit is always going eccentric, concentric for most of the movements, especially when you're talking about your shoulders, your hips, and your knees. So to add in some things where you're holding a position isometrically, it can be beneficial to just help to stabilize the joint and give some variation in your training so you're not losing stability. NASM certified trainer, past coaches and teachers. This is the resources that people are using for exercise planning. Michael Stratton and Brett Bryan, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. A couple of people are working with USAW certified powerlifting coaches, weightlifting coaches. Some people are going and they're just going to yoga, so they're taking the yoga class. And old trainers. And then in terms of activities, what are people talking about in terms of activities? Well, I haven't. Yeah, so for some of the females are talking about running weekly, half marathons. Yeah, a lot of runners here. HIIT classes, CrossFit classes. Now, women in 40 plus, they're talking about, still running, biking, still going to CrossFit gyms, going to other fitness studios, women's fitness studio, and some media. Okay, let's talk about some media, because some of these I had not heard of. So these are some apps: She Jams, Women Who Lift Weights, NerdFitness.com, Sigma Nutrition, the RP Diet app, Strava, MyFitnessPal. Let's see what else we got for media. The Beachbody app, bodybuilding.com, YouTube. Okay. And then lastly, I really haven't dissected this last part, just talking about people's barriers. But a lot of it has to do, especially working age people, the barriers are it's time. They're working full time, they got kids. It's like really tough to plan to work out. And there's like a sense of guilt a little bit around like taking time to go work out. And then as you're aging, it becomes just physical limitations that people are talking about. And a lot of people are also considering intake. Their diet is a big barrier. They perceive it to be really a challenge for them to feel that they're getting the proper nutrition that they need. So this was really fascinating, and I'm working on synthesizing it a little better and coming out with a little bit of a report, because I think it's really informative, and some really good resources can come from this list. All right, so the other thing I want to do today is I want to give a shout out to thinkpennybranding.com. You got to go to thinkpennybranding.com if you are looking for just a really simple logo and get together a consistent marketing scheme and get your online media sites all kind of coordinated, this is what I'm trying to do right now. So I met with Remy and Judy today, and we had a really interesting conversation, and they gave me some really good advice going forward. And so definitely, if you're somebody who's looking for somebody in the area in marketing, you should check them out. The last thing I want to talk about today, and I'll try to make this brief, and this is a whole can of beans here, but I want to talk about the triple bottom line, the idea of a triple bottom line. We're talking about people, planet, profit, and we're talking about society, economy, and ecology. And this is about, oftentimes when we make a decision, we're thinking about, well, how much does it cost? We want to do the thing that's cheaper, the cheaper option. And this is the single bottom line. I'm just looking at something in economic terms. But I think it's really important that we're considering the ecological impact and the societal impact. So yes, maybe you'll take this action that's going to make $100,000. But if it's polluting the water and the working conditions are really bad for the people who work at this place, that just doesn't sound like something I want to get behind. You know what I mean? I would rather get behind the thing that maybe is making only $50,000, but there are good working conditions, and this entity is, if anything, it's improving the quality of the environment and having a positive environmental impact. That's something that I want to support. I want to really put my energy behind bolstering that kind of effort because it's achieving a triple bottom line. Short-term economic gains are, you're really taking a risk. And if you're not taking any forecast into the future and trying to take a look at what the impact of your action is, also in, like I said, economic and economic, societal, and ecological impact. If you're not thinking about the environment at all, and if you're not thinking about in the society one is really tricky because that's like very vague. But to me, if I had to think about it in any way, I'm thinking about community. I'm thinking about individual communities. And even this is, there's so many different types of community. Your family is a community. Your workplace is a community. Most people belong to multiple communities all at once. So this is really hard. This is why it's hard to measure societal impact. It's very easy to measure economic impact. So that's why that always is talked about first. Ecological impact is harder to measure, but we are actually getting some more and more better ways to measure ecological impact. For instance, you need to check out the Bath. You need to check out the Bath Forestry Committee and this paper that's going to be coming out soon, published by the head of this committee, is really informative in talking about the impact of trees and the measurable economic impact that trees can have in certain situations, in terms of like remediation and stabilizing the soils and flood prevention. They have a measurable positive economic impact. So though you may look at, oh man, it's going to cost, each of these trees is going to cost $150 each. I don't know what you say you want to plant 100 trees, like that's a pretty big investment. But it is estimated that a mature tree, which this is hard because this isn't going to get to full impact until perhaps 10 or 15 years down the road. So it's very hard to justify this short. I don't know what would 100 of trees at 150, do the math on that, but I mean, yeah, that's a significant investment. But in 15 years, each one of those trees is going to give you more than $100 worth of benefit each. And their lifespan will go 100 years. So do the math on that. That's a good investment. But it takes the long vision to make that seem feasible. And so the triple bottom line, all of my discussions over on my YouTube channel, which I'll get a little bit more into. Basically, the theme is I'm trying to figure out then, what does that look like? What are some entities that are fulfilling this goal of serving a triple bottom line and having that be how they make a decision? And I want to highlight those. And I also want to look at policies that are in line with this. And this is not unrelated to the balanced body system. The balanced body system is part of trying to look at this triple bottom line. Okay, but for more on that, check out my YouTube channel. So thank you so much, Rosemary and Michelle, for checking in. And again, please leave any comments if you have a workout plan that you're following. I would love for you to share the link to that, please. Okay, have a great day. Happy 4th of July.